Pisces 2020 horoscope. Welcome, dear friends. This is the astrology prediction for 2020 for people who have their sun or rising sign in Pisces. And we are going to discuss the key events during the upcoming year and how are they going to affect you specifically. So make sure to listen to the whole video. You will learn the meaning of Jupiter in Capricorn and Saturn in Capricorn as well. Jupiter and Saturn in conjunction with Pluto, which is kind of the major topic of the year. Also, the nodes shifting signs, eclipses, Venus and Mars retrograde. We have all of it during 2020. I'm also very happy to announce that the 2020 astrology calendar is available now. You will get insights about the visible and invisible planets, exact aspects, impressions, donations, and so much more. And if you want to get yourself a copy of it, you will find the link below the video. Let's begin with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is not just the great benefactor and basically the most positive planet, but for you guys, it's also one of the rulers, one of the lords of your sign. Neptune is the modern ruler, but the ancient, the visible ruler of Pisces is Jupiter. And everything which happens with Jupiter is affecting you in one way or another. So Jupiter will be in Capricorn most of the year until the middle of December in your 11th house. So it's time for expansion and it's time to focus on the future. And through this reading, you're gonna see that actually 11th house is the most important house for you during the upcoming year, which means focus on the future, focusing on social stuff like communities, like groups of people, social projects. You really need to be kind of a team player. That's where you can grow. That's where you can expand. That's where the opportunities may come. 11th house has also other meanings, like, for example, kids of your partner. For example, let's say that you have stepchildren. 11th house is that as well. 11th house is also second from 10th, which means the money you earn from your career, from your business. So there might be an expansion in that area as well. There might be growth and opportunities, and you might be successful. And all of that includes other people and teamwork and community work. So it's quite positive. The good news is that also Jupiter in Capricorn is in sextile with Pisces. So you can grow, you can expand. This is a very nice aspect, very soft, which brings you the opportunity. You're not forced to really, take them. It's up to you, but why not? And Jupiter is not alone, actually. Jupiter is together with Saturn in your 11th house, part of the year, from January until March and July until December, the middle of December. Saturn in 11th house, on the other side, requires from you to be more serious about the same topics that we discussed: the future vision, your ideals, the financial benefits of your business, your stepkids, and so on. So you need to work hard for those things. You need to be very grounded, very precise, very accurate. And you may find that some superficial things in regards to those areas will go away. For example, friendships or people who are not really supportive, not helpful, well, they will just disappear from your life. And it's kind of a testing period, to see who's really there for you, who doesn't really care. So from one side, the amount of people you communicate with can decrease, but they will be quality people. That's the important thing. People that you can grow together with, because Jupiter is there as well. And there is a shift during March when Saturn will enter Aquarius, your 12th house. And Saturn is in Aquarius between March and June and after the middle of December. Saturn in Aquarius can make you more introverted, kind of closed, kind of turned more into yourself, which usually is something natural for Pisces people. On top of that, 12th house is the Pisces area. That's the Pisces house. So you may feel quite strong this transit, actually. And it's time to look back at the past, to make a reassessment, to be very accurate about, your judgments, to complete old stuff, old projects. So this will be kind of an ending period of something. For spiritual work, this is also quite interesting aspect. Keep in mind that also Saturn in 12th house is in one of the positive spots in the chart. So there is an expression when we say the planet is joyful to be in this house. So Saturn, for example, is joyful in 12th house. For example, the sun is joyful in 9th house. So for each planet, you will find a different house. But for Saturn, it's 12th house. So more or less, there is a synchrony. There is something mutual between Saturn and 12th house. And it's the closeness. It's in a way also about your own space. You might think more about boundaries, Saturn is the boundaries. So usually that's not something easy for Pisces people to keep healthy boundaries with others. So maybe it's time to put those boundaries actually to protect your own space, yourself, everything that's really important for you. And at the same time, Saturn will be joining Pluto in your 11th house, and that's a big one. That's one of the main topics of 2020. And it triggers the social area, so communities, friends. You may work on something together with other people, and those can be some really powerful people actually, because Jupiter is there as well. So Jupiter will actually join Pluto 3 times, April, June, and November. So this whole combination, Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, 11th house, 4 aspects. This means that there might be powerful people who can help you. You can grow together with them, or you can be part of some kind of community or party, or it can even include political stuff or social projects. So the social area is very, very important. At the same time, keep in mind that 11th house brings some kind of distance. You need to learn not to be so emotionally engaged with whatever comes in your life. 11th house allows us kind of to separate a little bit from, investing too much emotions when it's not necessary, or, wasting too much of our time. So separating a little bit, detachment from unnecessary drama, unnecessary stuff. 11th house is also a very mental house. So you need to learn to listen more to your mind. And this is especially the Saturn-Pluto transit. It's about restructuring of some kind of ideals, principles that you have. It's time to change them. With Jupiter also, it's about philosophy, it's about your belief system, it's about your vision of the future overall. So on a mental level, there might be lots of transformation for Pisces people. And as we said, Jupiter and Saturn are chasing each other in your 11th house, basically through the whole year, but they will make the conjunction in your 12th house. And that happens at the end, on the 21st of December. Jupiter and Saturn in 12th house are also showing the ending phase of certain period. So something that you are ready to complete. So it could be in the social area, it could be about your beliefs, your own principles, your own rules. And this is a great time to concentrate more on spiritual work, on working with the past, letting go, releasing. And you would definitely need more time for yourself. So, for example, if the previous active 11th house has kind of, required really focus on people and other stuff, well, at the end of the year, when 12th house becomes more active, you may need to kind of separate a little bit, to stay more alone, to spend more time on your own, to recharge, to do the things that are interesting and important for you. So it is a big one. Remember, Jupiter is the ruler of your sign. So quite impressive. And then we have the nodes. So at first, the North Node is in your 5th house, which means more entertainment, things that you love doing, creativity, romance. So this is an area where you can succeed, where you can grow. But later, after the 5th of May, the North Node shifts its position to Gemini and your 4th house. So it's time to concentrate more on family stuff, on your home, on the people around you, your relatives, it's time, to connect to your inner self, the inner child, and so on. So it's kind of a more introverted period, time to dive deeper into yourself, to find time for the activities that you want to do on your own at home. It could be a time for people to, find a new place to live. Property issues can also be important. So 4th and 10th house is actually an important axis in the chart. So some serious transitions might come into your life. And speaking about the notes, of course, the next topic is related to the eclipses, which are including the nodes. And we have 6 eclipses, guys, during 2020. The first one on the 10th of January, together with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. So what a transformative month it is, actually. And this eclipse is a lunar one, triggering your 5th house. Focus on your romantic life, on love, on your communication with kids, on creativity. Something needs to be transformed or changed, or need to let go of something. And then we have 3 eclipses in a row during the summer. On the 5th of June, there is a lunar eclipse in your 10th house. And that's an important eclipse, changing something in your career, in your business, about your reputation, about what you're doing for the world. So quite significant one. On the 21st of June, we have another one. This is a solar eclipse in 5th house this time. New phase in terms of your personal life, in love, in terms of creativity and kids. And the last summer eclipse is on the 5th of July in your 11th house. So changes in the social circle, in your community, about your ideals. As we said, 11th house is also the money from your business. So these are the areas where you can transform. And the last eclipses of the year are during November and December. The first one triggers your 4th house, lunar eclipse in your 4th house, which can bring changes at home, related to your place of living, related to family members and property stuff as well. The last eclipse is on the 14th of December, solar eclipse, in your 10th house. So new career horizons, changes, transformations, a new phase when it comes to your business. And pay attention, guys. So the eclipses kind of overlap with the other significant events. So the January eclipse is together with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. The December eclipse is together with the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. So it is quite impressive, you know. Even the summer eclipses, they overlap with Jupiter and Pluto. So we have like 3 sectors of eclipses, and they all include also the other slower planets having their game. So it's quite exciting and interesting. Now let's move to the retrograde cycles of the planets, because we have to talk about them too. Venus, the planet of love and harmony and beauty, will be retrograde between the 12th of May and the 24th of June in Gemini, between the 22nd and the 5th degree. And for you, my friends, it triggers your 4th house. So you need to find the balance more at home with your family members, when you are more on your own. And there might be some kind of need to, you know, put extra effort into it. So it's not that easy. You might be over emotional or overreacting, for example, provoked by family members or something like that. And we wouldn't recommend buying new properties or even moving to a new place during Venus's retrograde, when Venus is retrograde in your 4th house. So it may not be fulfilling, it may not bring you joy, it may not bring you happiness. So try not if possible. On the positive side, Venus retro in your 4th house may allow you to repair the relationship with family members, to find again the balance and the harmony, to clear things maybe from the past. And why not a family reunion? If you haven't seen your family for a long time, then just do it while Venus is retrograde. Overall, we know it's not the positive time for marriages, for settling down, for new relationships. That's just kind of, you know, the Venus area. Mars is also gonna be retrograde between the 9th of September and the 12th of November. In Aries between the 28th and the 15th degree. In your 2nd house, which means you need to be careful with financial stuff during this period. No significant purchases, no investments, no buying whatever. I mean, whatever expensive and important. Of course, it doesn't mean that we don't buy food or, you know, the other daily stuff. But if that's about a big purchase, like a car, like a computer, even a mobile phone, maybe it's not the best time. On the other side, Mars retro in your 2nd house may require from you to put extra efforts to put more order in your finances, you know, to change something, maybe about your habits, how you spend money, what you're doing, and so on. So that's the main area: material stuff, finances, and resources overall. And the last retrograde cycle for you guys is Mercury. 3 times during the year, as usual, Mercury is retrograde each year. The first time in 2020 will be February and March. And that's an important one because Mercury is retro in Pisces part of the time. And that triggers your 1st and 12th house. So be cautious with personal decisions, with personal projects. It could be a time also to reassess the past in some way. Then June and July, we have another Mercury retro in your 5th house. So more attention to your personal life. Be careful with love, with creative stuff, with your kids, and so on. And the last Mercury retrograde period is October and November in your 9th and 8th house. So be careful with long-term goals, with plans for the future, and financial stuff, especially investments and mutual resources. And overall, we know that when Mercury is retrograde, that's not the best time for brand new things that are important, that you want to be long-lasting. But don't forget that after all, life continues even during Mercury retrograde. Now let's move to the other planets. We have only the outer planets left. And the first one is Uranus, which is your friend in a friendly sign, Taurus, in your 3rd house between the 3rd and the 11th degree. Very exciting aspect to kind of change your way of thinking, change your social circle, you know, people that you communicate with. Maybe travel to exciting destinations, maybe become interested in a new type of knowledge, new concepts. So it is quite exciting, and it can bring more variety for you, especially if Uranus crosses the cusp of your 3rd house. So if the 3rd house is between those degrees, 3 and 11 degrees in Taurus, or if your sun sign is between 3 and 11 degrees in Pisces, with plus minus 2 degrees actually. It means that Uranus has a positive aspect with your sun, so new horizons, new perspectives, internal personal changes, it's very exciting. Then we have Neptune, guys, and Neptune can be the most important impact for you if your sun or rising sign is affected by Neptune. It means that it should be between the 16th and the 21st degree, plus minus 2. So between the 14th and the 23rd degree. If that's the case, then this is really the most important transit. Neptune is also the ruler of Pisces, the modern ruler of Pisces, together with Jupiter, the old one. So it's a time to be more creative, to be more inspired, but also there can be a confusion. There might be some kind of, you know, misunderstanding, like you are in a fog, you don't really know what's going on. But the point here is to trust your intuition, to let go, release the control. You know, with Neptune, you cannot have control. So just release it. Spiritual practices, meditations, healing methods like homeopathy, the Bach flowers, you know, natural remedies, they can help you a lot with those transits. And if you're an artist, if you're a creative person, this can be actually a very productive time. So don't forget about Neptune. And the last one that we have to discuss, that's the transit of Pluto, which is in your 11th house. We kind of talked about it already, actually, because Jupiter and Saturn are there as well. Pluto is between the 22nd and the 25th degree. So check where is the cusp of your 11th house. If it's there, then that's a big one. That's a transformation in terms of your future vision, in terms of communities, collective will, projects, or, you know, things that require teamwork as well. But overall, Pluto is also your friend. There is a sextile between Pluto and Pisces. So it's a positive transformation. It's a smooth transformation. And that, my friends, was the astrology prediction for Pisces for 2020. As you can see, 11th house is strongly triggered in your chart, but also you have important influences in 4th house, later on in 12th house. So it's kind of a mixture between the social area, but then also your personal life, the need to isolate, to spend more time alone. So try to find the balance if possible. And also, if you want to have this presentation, it's available. I will send it to you. Just type your email in the comments and wait for me to send it. So thank you again, Pisces. And I want to ask you, what are you most excited for? Is there something in 2020 that you are really interested in, that you cannot wait for, that you are excited about? Let us know in the comments and let's chat together. Thank you again. Don't forget, if you want to have your copy of the 2020 astrology calendar, the link is below the video. It was a pleasure for me as always. I wish you all an amazing, exciting, interesting, incredible 2020. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.